How much are you willing to pay for the D? Brenasti was willing to pay $1.75 million because she was found liable for criminal conversation and alienation of affection. And of course, a stand-up individual like this is going to take accountability, right? Because after all, she did say.
And I feel like a lot of adults in this generation don't take accountability for things that they do. And one thing about me that I know a lot of y'all don't know about me is I take full accountability for something that I know that I did. And even if I know that I could have done something a different way, I still take accountability for it. Even if it's not 100% my fault. But if I know I played a part in something, I'm going to take accountability for it. I feel like this generation, if that person feel like they did nothing wrong, they're not taking accountability for nothing. They're going to put their fingers and blame everybody else around them, but actually look at themselves. And I hate that.
You hate that. Ah, man, and you hating yourself right now, huh? Because ain't this you?
And it was nothing but lies.
Akira Montogue, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montogue knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
But the jury didn't agree, awarding Akira Montogue the $1.75 million after more than 700 pieces of evidence were presented in court, including some of Brenay's own TikToks and texts.
Yes, you heard that correct. She is the one that provided the evidence because she couldn't keep her dirty deeds to herself. Brenasti just had to show the world that she was out here messing with somebody else's husband, and Tim played right along out here showing out that he was messing with somebody else's wife. Yes, because they trifling. What evidence might that be, Amanda? Oh, stuff like this.
Oh, Tim, go ahead, bro. Dang. We about to cook, y'all. Okay, tell me about that.
When Brenay first waddled her way back into their lives, she would film them together as two couples, like this.
That's a shame. What?
However, as her and Tim started rekindling their relationship, Brenay wanted to just film her and Tim together. Akira and Devin were peeping that. Brenay would also do slick stuff off camera where she would make Tim's plate and not make her husband's plate. They would be kikiing, laughing on the couch together. They would do disrespectful things in each other's household.
Hey, and Tim.
You gonna hurt yourself. He seemed nice. He'd be nice when he wanna be. Stop, come on. The angels bow down. Is my leg heavy? Is my leg heavy? Oh.
And y'all probably like, man, why would her leg be on a married man? Right, because they was already having relations. And she filmed all of this for the world to see, like they both weren't married. And they were doing this in the marital home. And Akira stated in court that they were working towards fixing their marriage and they were moving past incidents of infidelity. And they were trying. They had even went on a cruise with each other where they was very much intimate, and he was telling her that he loved her. He was doing things for her. He was also trying to shoot up her club because he wanted another kid. All the while, he was still playing with Brenay on the side. Tim is a dog, a rough. He a cheater. He's been cheating on Akira throughout their marriage. He's also a bum in my eyes.
Hey. Yes. No, you stay there and go to sleep.
I am. I'm gonna change this battery.
Don't worry about what I'm doing out here.
Tomorrow we are gonna run to some errands and before we go home.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, they're arguing back and forth. But tomorrow we're gonna run some errands or whatever, and then I'll talk to y'all then. Because my camera is about to start flashing.
Can you stay focused on what's going on in that bedroom?
See you tomorrow.
Tim would often tell Akira that he was out with Devin and Brenay. And the reality is he was just out with Brenay.
It be them people that don't have a whip, barely got a job, trying to reach and do whatever they can to get some extra better. Yes, and I get to work whenever I want to.
Who wanted her ex-husband to go to the NFL so bad so she could stay at home and do what? Kick her feet up.
Yes, let's get into Timothy because I feel like he needs more attention. He doesn't get enough backlash for the part that he played in destroying multiple marriages. Everything is really pretty much on Brenay and her wrongdoing and people telling her, oh, she's gonna get the karma that she deserves, blase, blase. Meanwhile, Timmy with the hips get to walk around living his best life being a bum. She talking about football dreams. Brenay, you know like I know, there was no way on God's green earth that this man was about to sniff an NFL field professionally. The only way he was sniffing an NFL field is if he was about to be a custodian. This is this man's football stats that you gotta look high to low to find. Height, 6 feet, so he's probably either 5'10 or 5'11. Weight, 270. I can believe that. He was an undersized lineman at a Division II school in his senior year. Tackles, 3. Sacks, 0. 0 interception, okay? 2 total. 2. These are the games. 2. Assists, 9. Tackles total, I believe this is 11. He ain't had no sacks. Forced fumble, he had 1. This is his senior year. He's the one that had football dreams that he told Akira and her family. And in reality, he was never going. He was at a Division II school. Let me put this into context for you. This year's NFL draft, 0 players were taken from a Division II school. There are only 38 players from Division II schools on the active roster right now in the NFL. And these is his stat. He was like a money pit that they kept investing in and wasn't going nowhere. Akira worked 2 jobs while he was in college being unproductive. Her mother was maxing out her credit cards, making sure this bum had every single thing he need just for his mistress to pop off at the mouth talking about, yes, she wanted him to be in football so she could lay up with her feet up. Well, ma'am, why wouldn't she when she put it in that work for this bum to pursue something that wasn't gonna come his way at all? 0. This clown had a kid while he was in college. He could have been working. He could have put down the ball. He could have skipped practice because he wasn't going nowhere. How mad are you being a hater and all? I'm being realistic. And young girls, okay? All the future gold diggers. When you see somebody like this, I want to go to the NFL. I want you to go and I want you to look at their stats and pay attention to the school that they playing at. This ain't last chance you. He was never at a Division I school, ever. He's a senior at a D2 school, and most of the time, if he had a hope, he would have already transferred into a Division I school because he needed to play against better talent. He transferred into a D2 school. My gosh. And really, I blame the parent for letting this nonsense go on. Amanda, why you low-key blame the parents? Because they should have stopped this in the beginning. I know he got up on the stand there and said he ain't really want to marry Akira. Tim said that he was forced into marrying Akira and was given a 2-month ultimatum. He chose to marry her. He went to Pandora and got the cheapest ring that he could find. And that's how the union came to be. I think it broke down to, you not about to be shacking up in my house. So either y'all gonna get married or you gonna find you something else to do. Because after all, they say they're Christian. And a lot of times in black households, especially Christian black households, they believe in this scripture. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Hey, if you having these desires, you don't need to be out here fornicating. You need to go find you a wife and marry. But marriage is more than about your desires. It's about you being able to lead and provide for a family, which is why they need to start teaching actual discipline across the board, because they teach the girls actual discipline, but they don't always teach the men actual discipline. And Timothy was loose with it. Him and Brenay and him got active at 14 years old, but he was also having relations with her twin sister when they was teenagers. So he was out here wilding it, and he needed to have some discipline. He is, according to Akira's mother, he came to her and asked for Akira's hand in marriage. And when she was like, hey, aren't you a bit too young to be getting married? He said, we are. But that was his best friend, and he understood they were struggling financially, but he rather struggled with his best friend than anything in the world. And her mammy should have told him no. She stood and started singing Bishop Bullwinky, hell to the no, no, hell to the no. No, I don't know who daughter you think you marrying, but you ain't marrying mine. Because she set her daughter up for failure for somebody that could not provide for her. He couldn't provide for himself. He was struggling financially. He was dependent on his parents. That means that you don't need to be having no family. You are not suitable for marriage. You are not ready for the responsibility that you are trying to take on. You ain't in that position. No. out. Don't set your kids up for struggle love. Don't even put that in their mind that they need to be out here getting married. Teach them some actual discipline. Be like, yo, hey, that ain't it. And I would have told my daughter, listen, nah, don't marry him. You're grown. You can do what you want to do. But I'm going to tell you right now, your best bet would be to listen to mom. Because what I'll do for you is I'll pay for you to finish school. I give you a little stipend. You focus on your schooling. You could talk to him. I know you think you in love. I know he over here love bombing you, but that ain't it. And I love you enough to tell you because that's what he was doing to Akira. You got a man chasing fantasies while his wife work multiple jobs just for him to be out here cheating on her and disrespecting her. And just to have Brenasti popping off at the mouth talking trash. She wanted to have her feet up. You mean the woman that's there supporting the household? The one that said she let Tim leave even though she was the breadwinner, meaning her husband made all of the decisions in the household. He ain't got no job, but he making every single decision. And then when it was time for him to actually get out and work and do what he needed to do, he ain't want to do it. And you picked that bum up so you could be paying all of his bills. Brenasti, is you stupid or is you dumb?
To sit at home and do literally nothing. Oh, I love being in the comfort of my own home. Y'all can't force me to get out my house. She want to be relevant so bad.
Yeah.
She want to gain clout off of this so bad.
She want to gain clout off of you filming your adulterous affair in her household. Brenasti, you filmed all of this. You brung all of this to the internet. And when people was asking you, ain't he married? Why is you flirting with that married man? He sitting up there telling the world he ain't married. You telling the world you was getting a divorce and you hadn't even filed the paperwork. Y'all wasn't even legally separated. That's what you was out here telling the world. That's you. I mean, you was the one that filmed yourself twerking on him in a bathroom at their home. Let's get into some more of the ways you brought this to the internet because it's everybody's fault but your own.
Try to play like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about the simple fact that I asked this boy, I'm sorry, because he's not a man for real. Let's talk about how I asked this boy, Devin Mayo, let's go to counseling. He didn't want to do it. Why would we go to counseling if there's nothing this and there's nothing that? Why would I go to counseling for people that... He suggested counseling when I was finally over with. Okay? So let's also talk about how multiple times I went to his mom to get him right. I promised to God, right hand to God. I went to Tanya Mayo multiple times to get her son in line. And guess what happened? 3 times, y'all. Not once, not 2, but 3 times I went to his mom and I kept asking her, hey, I need you to get Devin in line. He's not leading this marriage. Why do I need to stay in a marriage if I'm leading it? Am I the husband or am I the wife? He didn't want to lead. He didn't want to lead this marriage. It was so many things that Devin did not want to do. Stop, Poncho. So many things that Devin did not want to do in the marriage. So guess what Brenay did? Brenay got fed up with it. Okay? Brenay got fed up with it. If I'm going to be the husband in a marriage, then why not be by myself?
That's the biggest question because you about to be the husband in your marriage with Tim. You about to be paying all of his bills plus your debt that you owe to the court. I know you got your ignorant cell phone there and said this.
Leaving Brenay Montague with a hefty bill and no answer on how she'll pay.
I don't know, but she'll probably never see it.
And I love that ignorant head shake she did at the end. I think that this is a beautiful thing. Go ahead, Brenay. Show us again.
No, but she'll probably never see it.
Yeah. She got on there talking all that smack. That 1.75 million guy comes with an 8% interest. So she gonna see that money because you can't bankruptcy it away. You can't do that. And you up there shaking your head. Just get prepared for the garnishments. When you was with Devin was working and paying all the bills up in your house. You wasn't doing nothing then. You was a stay-at-home wife. Building your social media. That's what you was doing. But he wasn't leading you. You said you'd rather be yourself instead of be the man in a relationship. Go ahead and file for divorce, Brenasti, because you ain't got a man with him, you got a bum. Anytime a man will leave his family for you with no remorse, will get up on the stand and say, just because you tell somebody you love them don't mean you mean it. So you already know he a liar and he a cheater. This the same man that have slept with your twin sister throughout the years with zero remorse, was up in there clapping cheeks with her before he got back to messing with you. And he gonna be up in there clapping her cheeks again because that's who he want. He don't have no respect for marriage. He was already cheating on his wife multiple times. But you think he about to be faithful to you when he showed you he can't keep his word. You mean the same trifling man that will lay up with you, allow you to call his son up in a room to give y'all some wipes after y'all been intimate, and you think that that's the man for you? You think that's a man that is a coward? That is a dog. He don't respect nothing. He running away from his responsibility. How you with a man that don't want to pay his child support? $16,000 in arrears? Don't want to help his wife out? He want to lay up with you in an apartment that you was paying for. But Devin ain't no man. Okay, I got it. Let's go down this rabbit hole.
Okay? Cool. Second thing, I didn't finish watching all of his video because someone sent it to me. I didn't finish watching everything.
You blocked him on social media. Go off.
But I hope they screen record this and get this all around the internet if you want to. Number two, let's go back to his mom. It's so funny how his mom's sitting on the internet trying to play like her son is so innocent and so, he's the victim of everything when he's not. You and I both know that because I came to you multiple times and I was asking you, Tanya, I'm begging you, get your son together. Please, I'm literally begging you, right? Let's talk about the fact that he mentioned something about a park. We was at the park, and I said a hypothetically question. That was way before. And when I asked him that, I don't honestly, to tell you all the truth, I don't remember asking the hypothetical question. And if I did ask him a hypothetical question, it wasn't towards me being with him.
So the hypothetical question that she's referring to, if memory serves me correct, she asked him, how would he feel if she got back with him? That was her hypothetical question. During this time, she was already creeping with him.
It wasn't towards me being with him. And if it was, that was after the fact him and I already decided not to be together anymore. Let's clock that T. He trying to act like he's spilling something and he not. And let's talk about the time where I was there for a whole week at their crib. And let's ask why I was there the whole week. Why, Brenay, how come you were there at someone else's house for a whole week? Oh, well, because Devin tried to buck up at me like he was going to hit me. Ooh.
The court revealed that was a lie. Her and Tim concocted that story. Yeah. Because Devin finally got tired of them disrespecting him in his house, so he confronted her and they got into an argument. She said she was going to go to her mother's house. Tim was like, nah, you could come with me. So Tim told his wife that Devin tried to buck up at Brenay so Akira would allow this woman into her household. Let's get into the disrespectful stuff that they was doing. They was in his house having relations. It was like 4 times that he woke up and he heard them and he had enough of it. They all cuddled up at the house. She don't want to be in a room with him. She don't want to spend time with him. She don't want to go marriage counseling with him because she into Tim now. That's who she wanted. He woke up to her talking to Tim, talking about, well, what would you do if I gave you another opportunity? And she talking about, well, he bucked up. Let me tell you something. Brenay, you would have been black and blue. The stuff that you were doing, you wouldn't have been doing with a man that lays paws, that are DVers at all. You would have had too much fear in your heart for stuff like that. That's facts. And so I don't like when people use situations like DV, which is a serious matter, to lie and get their way. Tim also alleged that Akira was laying paws on him, but he also admitted to punching holes in the wall. And I find it crazy that somebody that is as aggressive as that wouldn't have went ahead and laid paws on you and Brenasti when she saw them videos on your phone of Brenay talking about her cat throbbing after y'all finished having relations and how she wanted it all the time. She ain't get aggressive then though. Meanwhile, you were being nasty and disrespectful in all of your ways to your husband and to Tim's wife and vice versa. No respect. Stuff like this will wind people up on front of a t-shirt because you don't play with people's emotions. You don't go into the marital home and have relations with your side thing and think it's all willy-nilly.
Ooh, let's talk about that. He didn't do it not once, but he did it twice. Stop trying to play the victim, bro. Stop trying to play the victim like you really are when you love somebody so much. If you love me so much, why did you buck up at me like you was going to hit me? You ain't going to hit somebody that you love, Devin, correct? Why else did I leave for a week? Why else did I leave for a week, bro? Okay, so let's move on. Him and I already had that conversation, and when we decided on separating, guess what he did? He took his ring off and put it in the bag and said, I'm so happy that we're not going to be together. We never really act like husband and wife. We were really like close friends just having sex with each other. And let's also talk about the fact that you told me that you married me as a joke. And you expect me to just be like, you know what? Okay. You said that you married me as a joke, Devin. Let's not forget that, bro.
But since you saw, oh, you married me as a joke, let's talk about what your husband said about you, Brenay. That was revealed in court. Let's talk about how he said you were lazy and nasty. Let's talk about how it was revealed that you would leave trails of snacks in the house and how trifling you were at somebody else's residence. Tim hooked Devin up with you because he wanted, and I quote, Devin to get a good nut because you and your sister was just handing it out. Devin would be in there with you and Tim would be in there with Kareem because y'all was known for doing actual favor. That's what your husband said about you. Let's talk about how you was in your feelings and heartbroken after you found out that Tim was still messing with your twin sister. And there's rumors right now going around that one of her children is his. Yeah, you still coming in second fiddle. Huh? Your mother-in-law, she don't like you. She told Akira that she don't like you and she didn't want you around her grandkid and encouraged Akira to take her son for everything that she could. She encouraged the lawsuit.
This is way before anything. This was in January. Matter of fact, it could have been in January or December, one of those days. You told me you married me as a joke, and anybody who knows me know Brenay want to be a wife and a mom. Anybody who knows that, and you expect me to just be like, okay, we can work it out. No, you said you married me as a joke. You were young, and this and the 30. You want me to just be like, you know what, it's okay. He's just talking. No.
Brenay, you want to be a wife to everybody's husbands but your own. And that was the problem. You make it seem like you respect marriage. And we know that to be a lie. Because if you respected marriage, you wouldn't have went out of your way to be in someone else's and let somebody else into yours. You would have handled it properly. Y'all wouldn't have been sneaking behind y'all spouse's back, scheming in ways as into how you can get up into his household. When that woman asked you to leave her house, you would have left. Instead of telling her, no, Tim wants me here. And then when her grandmother confronted you, you bucked up at the grandma and pushed her and told her Tim wanted you there and you ain't going nowhere. But when the rest of Akira's family came along and was about to handle that work, you and Timothy fled about the apartment because y'all didn't want that smoke. Explain to me, because it was revealed in court that you made at least $11,000 off of TikTok. Why do you need to be with Tim when you could afford a hotel on your own? Why did you and Tim want to defile the marital home when y'all could have went and got a hotel on your bank because you had the money? But that would have been too much like rice. Y'all wanted to be trifling and y'all wanted to throw it in y'all spouse's faces that y'all were being unfaithful. Then when they respond, you want to act like they the ones that's in the wrong to y'all abuse, to y'all disrespect. It's ridiculous. You get in front of your millions of followers and spread lies. You don't have respect for marriage. Man, then why can't she have kids? Because she has difficulty having kids because she has PCOS, which is why at one point she was trying to lose weight and her and Devin were trying for a child. And it worked out in Devin's favor because she was never able to produce anything. Thank God. Because then he would have had to deal with her for the rest of his life. But I hope that her and Tim have a fruitful marriage. But I couldn't find no better person for that to happen to, because once she had them kids, if she have some, he gonna get up and leave her because he don't want the responsibility of being a father.
And then a couple weeks later, you wanted to hit me, bro?
That's a good man, Savannah. Devin is a good man. Because most men woke up to you having relations in their home, they would have came up in there and would have immediately started laying paws on you and Tim for disrespecting them in their home. Most men would have reacted like Devin did not. Devin controlled himself. Some men would have had you and Tim on front of a t-shirt and it would have been marked as a crime of passion and they would have did every single day with their head held high. Most women, when they found in a video you twerking on their husband in their home, or when they woke up and their husband wasn't in their bed and it turned out that he was up in there with you, would have turned you and him every way but loose. You do not understand how dangerous of a situation you was in because you think it's all fun and game. And it's all good until it's not. You're lucky that you only had to pay $1.75 million. That was the best case scenario for you. And yes, Tim is getting sued by Devin. He was just served last week. So they're going to be in court soon as well.
Come on, Devin. Stop it. And once he realized it was too late and I was so far gone out the relationship, now he want to play, come on, let's try to work it out. No, I'm done.
And y'all probably wondering where Brenay gets her ignorance from. Look no further.
Yes, we all sin, but once you repent and continue to live in a sin is ridiculous. But how do you know a person is living in a sin? How do you know?
That right there. Because, they supposed to be Christians, Forget the fact. Bible tell you, be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatever a man soweth, so shall he reap. And Brenay and Tim, boy, y'all about to reap what y'all have sown. It ain't over. And her mother supposed to be a pastor or a minister or whatever. I wouldn't let her play over the nail on my pinky toe. Because her household is out of order. Her daughters, some bops, all of them. They have no sense of accountability. And she just out here defending them. How do you know? Because she flaunted it on the interweb. Now, true enough, your child is grown. But when you ask me if I had a kid and my kid did something bluntly wrong, he or she is wrong. And I don't support that mess. I'm not about to be up in court sitting next to you. No, I hope she get whatever it is that she want from you. Because you wrong and I told you to leave that man alone. Tim Pappy ended his relationship with Brenay. Tim Daddy wasn't going for that stuff. And then your daughter wondering why she keep having reoccurring issues down below. And she was blaming it on PCOS and fish. She said, does it make you smell like you not taking a bath in it?
That when people say, when you eat fish, you're not bathing in it like you said or whatever. But when you do eat fish, seafood, it comes through your pores. It goes through down there. I've eaten some type of fish, and sometimes it's like, why? I'm going to the bathroom. Why does it smell like I just had some?
Brenay, go to the hospital. It ain't got nothing to do about you eating fish. What it is you was in a situation that was a cesspool for TD. Well, man, what you mean? Okay, let me break it down to y'all a little bit further. Tim was having relations with Brenay, and Akira was in separate households. He would tell Brenay that he going to tuck in the kids, but he would also be tucking in Akira too. And he was doing his best to try to knock her up. But he was also having relations with Brenay. Brenay, according to Devin, had relations with him. And then Tim came over and she left Devin alone and went up in there and spent the night with Tim on an air mattress. And she had relations with him. I don't know if the air mattress deflated or not, but still. And she wondering why she smelling fish. Cause you're nasty. Besides the TD pool, let's get into the people that were really affected outside of the adults, which is the kids. Tim obviously moved out of the house. Their son is having issues with it. And yes, their mother he's on the wait list to get some help with his behavior and moving past this. And Akira mentioned that it was hard for them to go from calling someone auntie to mom. And this is Brenay not caring about it whatsoever.
First things first, PSA, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. I do not have any hatred in my heart for Tim's baby mom. I do not have any hatred. Regardless of what we're going on legally, I don't have any hatred in my heart towards her. Point blank.
First and foremost, ma'am, that's not his baby mama. That's his wife. And you his mistress. The baby mama that you know is your mama and your sister.
Point blank, period. That's number one. Number two, I don't like how you guys are trying to make it seem like I'm just a pop-up person. Y'all already know I was auntie to those kids, a name that I didn't give myself. Just to throw that out there. I was like, hey, I want to call myself auntie. No, name that was given to me. Okay? That's for two. Off rip, I just hate that y'all keep trying to spin this thing where if I don't like the baby mom, the mother of the kids, if I don't like her, I don't like the kids because they came from her. That is such a dumb mindset. And I feel like that statement only applies to people who actually aren't trying to love the kids. That is, or don't actually love the kids. And you can tell by the way they treat the kids. You know what I'm saying? That goes for certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. I can see how they would perceive you not loving the kids. You, along with their father, mess with their stability. I find it odd that supposed Christian like yourself don't see nothing wrong with you going from being their auntie to now being their stepmama. You don't have a problem with your man not paying child support and spending enough time with his children.
I can't, y'all cannot put that on Brenay. Y'all cannot sit here and make videos and saying that if I don't like the baby mom, I don't like the kids. I love those kids. Even like I said, when my position was auntie, I love those kids. Now that my position is stepmom, I love the children. I may not be fond and may not like the things that the baby mom is doing not only.
And she may not even be their stepmom because people have been looking high and low to find their marriage license, credible news outlets, and they weren't even able to find it. They was not married when she made this video. He was still very much with his wife. And so when you get up here and you say, even though I don't like the stuff that the baby mom, ma'am, that's not your place. You're a bonus parent. And when the kids are with you, you should always treat them with love and respect. But when it comes to their situation, dealing with that child, you don't have too much to say. You play your role. And that's the problem. Timothy allowed you to run amok because he's a bum. He abandoned his responsibility for his kids. Amanda, how you know? Because he's in arrears. And in court, they talk about how he doesn't see his kids as much. And I understand that divorce and separations have to be careful with how you handle these separations because kids don't always understand. So if you separate, then you don't need to be having your significant other around your child immediately because your job is to protect your children. So sometimes you have to slowly introduce them to somebody that you may be talking to. Not from having your mistress that you had them calling auntie to now you saying, oh no, that's your mama now and it's your new house. That's on Tim because as a father, he should be protecting them. You are a clown though for getting online and documenting everything.
To me, but also to the baby dad. I don't like that.
What Akira do to you? The way she talked, you would think that Akira was the one that snatched up Devin and was having relations with Devin while she was in the bedroom sleep. You would think that Akira did a scheme to get up in her household so she could be closer to Devin and have her biddies all up in his face and twerking all up on him in the bathroom.
To say that, I don't like it. But I'm not going to sit here on camera and to y'all, and I will say it to her and whoever else I need to, if when time is right, that I don't have any hatred towards you. Because at the end of the day, we all are going to have to co-parent those kids and even my children because their kids, the baby mom and the baby dad kids are going to be siblings to my kids and the baby dad kids.
And your niece. All in this together, hand in hand, take a stand. They all gonna be siblings. They all got Timmy with the hips in common. You gotta be careful with what you do and how you do it. Those kids are young right now and they're paying attention. And unfortunately for you, the internet is forever. And everyone is not as forgiving, Brenay. And y'all better be prepared to have answers. And good ones at that. You keep talking about your kids. You don't have any kids right now. You wishing on a star. And you better hope that man that you buying stay with you because he don't like responsibility.
Simple. We're all going to have to figure this thing out. And that goes right along with when the baby mom remarried. And we're all going to have to figure it out. So Brenay does not have a problem with the baby mom. Where is that? Like, why that don't apply to the baby dad? If the mom side or somebody from the mom side or whoever they dealing with don't like the dad, does that mean that they don't like the kids? Because guess what? Doesn't 50% of the mom and 50% of dad makes the kids? I'm not understanding. However the percentage is, I'm just saying 50-50 because I want to say 50-50. Doesn't that make sense? Like, y'all keep trying to make it seem like I just really hate this girl. I don't hate her. I don't hate her. I don't care. I'm not the type of person to hate anybody. And that's the thing. Everybody who's in the situation know that. They know I don't have hatred in my heart. Angry, upset about certain things, absolutely. But I don't hate her. But let's say that I did hate her. I don't, but let's say that I did. If I did hate her, why does that mean, or why does that equal me not loving the kids? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if I didn't like the kids, I wouldn't be marrying the dad.
And I know y'all heard her say she don't hate Akira. She don't have that in her heart. The reality is, Brenay actually wanted to pray for Akira. After she had her accident, that's what Timothy told her. Like, she really wants to pray for you. When I tell you these people was trying to send this girl to jail, it'll be a cold day in HE double hockey sticks Brenay if you ever played in my face like that. She had the unmitigated gall to say that. When it's clear that her relationship with God is on the rocks. After both of them was in the midst of committing adultery, she wanted to pray for the wife. She wanted the wife to look over the fact that she was having relations with her husband and had broke up her home. The reality is, Brenay, you was trying to intercede for the wrong person when it should have been, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. That was you, Brenay. Opportunity to take your trifling behind to the altar and tarry. You and Tim. As always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Stay blessed.